Awesome. And welcome. Happy Monday. I love doing these calls on Mondays. It's
I
like,
like it too.
yeah, I feel so energized and ready. On Friday, sometimes it's like, oh, I'm ready to pour a glass of wine and move on with the weekend. But this is exciting. The last few, let me just share my screen. There we go. Pardon how to silence my texting happening.
I was just going to say, that's your dinging. That's some pretty
Sorry.
intense text message ding. Like you couldn't ignore that.
My neighbors are, I don't know, I think there's a bobcat around or something. People are talking
Oh,
about it. So I apologize. I can't figure out how to silence that one, but let me just get us all set up here. Awesome. So guys, welcome. We are going to get started into this presentation. Let me see if I can, well, hopefully that'll stop soon.
or just move your phone away from the thing. It's like crazy. It's like ding. Whoa, we're here.
It's actually on my, it's on my computer. It's like attached to my Apple stuff, right? So hopefully it should stop. Or you know what, maybe I'll just exit the group. Sorry. I think they're done.
It
So,
does sound like a church.
well, my neighbors talking about stuff. Welcome everyone to this sneak peek for Success Fit and Sweaty Betty Fitness, for our teams coming together. Whoever invited you here, we're all a part of one big kind of happy family of coaches who work together to build our online business. And we're really excited to share with you guys today all the things that you want to know, the who, how, what, why, where, when, so that ultimately, I know my goal at the end of these is really for you to walk away really clear as to whether this is something that you're interested in or not. I don't want you being like, I don't know. Let's make sure we get all those questions answered. We try to keep it nice and tight, 25 minutes. So there's 5 minutes for some questions at the end. But welcome to this. Make sure that you take your time to ask whatever questions you have. You can unmute yourself at the end and ask your questions. And we really are an open book here. Hey, Michelle?
Oh, yes.
And you're going to hear from a few of us today. So you're going to hear from myself, and I guess I'll just move into that next slide and kind of introduce our team. So I moved ahead. This always happens to me.
You're too excited.
Our team, the big part of our team is called Success Fit, but underneath the team, we have lots of different, individual businesses. Each one of us as business owners run our own business our own way, but we come together kind of like a team, as a sisterhood, to really share what works for us, to collaborate, and to create some great camaraderie, I think, to create a place that's safe for everyone, that we get to share our learning and share our success and share what's working for us so that we can all reach success together. My name is Bria Evenson. I am a mom of 2 and a wife. I live currently in Phoenix, Arizona, but I'm originally from a little town in Cobourg, Ontario. So I'm Canadian. I have a dog. And I've been a coach for, it's 7 years in September, and I have to mute out here as we go. It's 7 years in September, and this business really came into my life when I was pretty lost after having 2 kiddos. I knew I wanted to go back to work some way, but I didn't want to leave my kids to go to work for something I didn't love. And I'm going to try to mute you guys out, but if you have the opportunity to mute yourself, that would be helpful when I share. It's kind of tricky for me. Thank you. Deciding to go into run an online business really came into my life when I knew I wanted to be present for my kids. I wanted something that helped me stay focused on my own health and fitness journey. And I wanted something that made me feel not so alone. I was very alone being a stay-at-home mom, and I wanted more. I wanted to create income in my time with the freedom of being able to work from wherever. And this opportunity just came in at such a perfect time in my life, where I needed accountability for my own health and fitness. I needed friendship and connection, and I needed a way to make money that didn't require me to leave my kids. So I'm really excited to pass it over here to Michelle and let her introduce herself, and Steph as well, while we continue on to tell you more about this today.
So good morning. My name is Michelle. I live on the west coast of Canada, so about as far west coast as you can get in a little town called Port Alberni. This is my hometown. So I have 3 kids. So my kids are 2, 4, and 6. So yes, we spaced them out perfectly evenly because we're crazy like that. And for me, after I had my second child, I'm one of those people who went to school forever and I'm overly educated. And I was really into like the corporate life and like really climbing the career ladder. And after having my second baby, I was like, wow, like I don't know how I'm going to leave 2 kids at home or put them in daycare. I guess I should say they're not going to take care of themselves and go back to work and like do that whole thing when at the end of the day, somebody else was raising my babies and my take home would have been not even worth it to like leave my babies that many hours a week. And so Bria, I've actually known her for 20 years and I was watching her on social media and seeing what she was doing. So I'm coming up on 4 years being a coach in April. And for me, it was like, wow, what is she doing? Like she has these kids and she's working for herself. And we have all types on our team, like people who are like work in the corporate world and do this, people who do this full time from home. But for me, it was something that I was looking for while I was on maternity leave, while I was raising my babies. And for me, I wanted to have significance and influence in this world. And it was amazing to me that I could do that from the comfort of home, from my computer. And today you see us like looking put together. Most days we just wear yoga pants. Let's be honest. And we don't wear a lot of makeup. But that's the cool thing about this is you can absolutely be yourself, as Bria says.
I'm
So
still
let's
wearing
get,
yoga pants. Just right now, I definitely am.
I'm wearing jeggings. So,
Steph, are
and
you
then Steph, we wanted you to introduce yourself.
Sure. So I'm Stephanie, and Michelle actually friend requested me and invited me to this business. So that's how I got started here. But when I started, I was essentially just looking for something to for myself to help myself be healthier. I was contemplating a gym membership or these online workouts. And I thought maybe if I do these online workouts and invite some of my friends, then it will be more fun because I was living out of town at the time and I couldn't invite my friends to the gym with me, but I could invite them online with me. And I started with some of my best friends joining me, and I'm a year and a half in now, and I still have some of my best friends working out online with me. And it's just been a huge like fire for me to keep going and keep moving forward with my journey and seeing that it's actually impacting those people really close to me. And I kind of always had this like nagging feeling in the back of my head, like I had all these things that I wanted to say and I wanted to share with the world, but I just didn't know how or in what way. And being part of this community and having trainings with Michelle and Bria and being able to kind of understand how to use my voice and how to make an impact and what it means to be able to really focus on your journey and share from a way of actually leading with inspiring others through your journey instead of just telling people what to do has been really impactful for me. And I should mention, actually, I'm a nurse by trade. So I was finding I was in the hospital a lot focused on people after they got sick. And I just love that from this perspective, I'm able to help people with health promotion and stop people from getting into the hospital in the first place as best as I can. And that is really, really meaningful for me.
I love that, Steph. That's so, I didn't really quite think of it that way as when you're in the healthcare world, that this is really an opportunity to help prevent for people. So thank you for sharing that. So I think probably the first thing that is so important for you to understand if you're wanting to learn about running a business on our team is what Beachbody is, because it's a key, kind of like a partner of ours. It's the company that we use their tools in order to help our people. I always think of coaches as like the captain of a team. The real service that we provide is helping people stay accountable, finding a program and a product and a nutrition plan that's going to fit into their life so they can really nail those health fundamentals long term. So we create that opportunity for them to start and keep going and stay motivated and finish and then start a new thing. That's really what we get to do. And the tools that we use are incredible tools created by a company called Beachbody. They've been around since 2000, and in 2008 they created what they call the network. where before that they had created certain programs that you may have heard of called P90X and Insanity. Those were actually my first programs, which tells you how long I've been around for. And they were revolutionary, but they used infomercials for people to learn about them. And it was the first time anyone had kind of come up with like a full solution, right, of fitness, where you got your workouts and you got nutrition plans, and then they had message boards. But they recognized in 2008 that the most powerful referrals that were happening and were from people getting results and then just sharing the results with other people. So they decided to create an opportunity for people like us to, from their homes, use these products to help other people and inspire other people. And that's really how we're able to run this business and using these products. We get really awesome products like Beachbody On Demand, which is the Netflix of fitness. You get over 1,100 workouts access on Beachbody On Demand. And many of you guys might be familiar with this. Probably you've been through some of our challenge groups already. We have incredible, really legitimate and high integrity products like Shakeology, which are super unique in the marketplace. We have great performance, science nutrition, performance-based supplements, bars, we have cleanses, we have everything that is not only top of the line, but cutting edge in science nutrition. So we get really cool tools that we get to use that work, and our role as coaches is really to help people use those tools and follow through on them. So that's the company we get to use, and I think one of my favorite parts about them is that they have a really huge heart and a real passion to help people live healthy and fulfilling lives. So they never compromise on quality. They never compromise on, they will take an ingredient out of something if it's compromised, where another company might decide to move to something more synthetic because it's cheaper. Beachbody always really holds tightly to that deep purpose of helping people live healthy and fulfilling lives with high quality products. So I'll pass it on over, I think, to Steph.
So I think the idea of who can be a coach is an interesting one, because there's so many different avenues that you can go with this business. So for example, Michelle is my coach, and we are very different, and we have very different things that we bring to the table. And it's part of the reason that we work well together and that we're really able to kind of lead different people, because there's so many people in this world. So it's really about knowing what you're after and pursuing that. So like I mentioned, I was after looking after my health and fitness and focusing on that. So if you have a transformation that you want, becoming a coach is amazing. If you guys have followed me up for a while, then you might have seen my transformation. This time last year, I was a completely different physical and mental person, and I just was looking for my spark. And being part of this community has been that for me, and it has kind of given me the drive to move forward and push through the hard things and actually become stronger in the end, mentally, physically, spiritually, all the things. Maybe you are already fit and you want to lead people that way also. There's totally room, no matter what your body looks like, to find the people who relate to you, which is a really cool aspect, because you're not talking to the whole world and getting every single person to come and join you. You're really finding the people that relate to you and the people that are out there looking for somebody to lead the party and to show them what's out there and how to kind of do this fitness thing and nutrition thing and what the pieces are, and have a space to be celebrated when they're consistent and have a space to be accountable. And that's what you do as a coach. You kind of have to like people though. If you really don't like people, the idea of helping people and talking to people all day probably isn't making you happy. So you really wouldn't want to be in this if you don't like people. But I feel like if you're here, you've been talking to one of us for a while, and that's a sign that you probably do like at least some people. I think a big thing that I mentioned before was my passion for helping people be healthy and live their healthiest, strongest lives. And a lot of that is like is the actual nutritious foods, not just restricting or eliminating or cutting back, but actually working on being like well-rounded and holistic and bringing those nutrients in and bringing your fitness in and moving your body and working on growing your mind and really a whole bigger picture than just one little aspect. And that's what you get to do as a coach, and you really get to work on yourself and help others do the same. There's definitely room for you to kind of pick what lights you up. So if you really are not into nutrition, maybe it wouldn't be the aspect that you would focus on the most in your groups that you host. But maybe you're really into personal development or mindset or fitness, whatever it is, you pick that and you run with it. And because we all work as a team, the areas that you are not as strong in, we are all here to help each other and can help you lift you up in that area. So it's really fun being able to kind of run with what you're passionate about, but then have the support of everyone else to make it well-rounded for the people who do join you. But I think you really have to be willing to get uncomfortable. I know one of the biggest things that I was worried about when I started was I'd never followed through on any sort of fitness thing ever, besides when I was like registered for classes as a kid. So committing to it and putting it out there online that I was going to do this was scary. But because I got uncomfortable, because I boldly chose my path, it made it very clear and very easy which direction I was going when things got really difficult, because I knew I'd already decided this was where I was going. I'd already told my 200 and something friends on Facebook that that was what I was doing. And I started to kind of grow and build momentum, and it became a lot less scary. And in fact, I noticed the people that were around me and the people that I had really close to me were more uplifted, more happy around me, and more positive because they were really seeing this change in me from being a coach. But I think really the biggest thing that I have found from being a coach and what it's brought is the accountability piece, that even on your worst days, you know what you can do to build yourself up and feel your fire and really kind of move forward with that piece.
Awesome. Thanks, Steph. So that's a little bit about who a coach can be. Michelle, do you want to talk about what coaches do?
Absolutely. So if I was sitting in my chair right now and I was a newbie to this, I'd be like, so like, how does it work? Like, what do you do? Like, how do you run these groups? So what we actually do is we set up a virtual community. So there's a lot of different tools and resources available to do that. So the beauty of using something pre-built like Beachbody is you come in and everything is set up for you. So we have the Netflix of fitness, we have the product. So there's none of that you need to do, like it's turnkey. And so what actually happens is you get set up with a website and your online store and like all of that stuff that you need. So when you find your people, they just order through your website and everything is drop shipped to them and they're just given digital access. I love that because a lot of people who are already in the fitness industry and stuff, they want to do their own thing, but they find they're like, oh my goodness, like all of the stuff they would need to set up. So no matter where you are, if you're brand new in your journey or if you're like a fitness professional or somewhere in between, everything is just set up for you. So it's just laid out and then you just come in and you get to do the fun part. So you set up a virtual community so you can plug into like your sponsoring coach, whoever that might be, and you can plug into their community. You can create your own. Some coaches use Facebook. We, of course, through Beachbody, we have tools out the wazoo that we can use and apps and everything is already set up. So what we do in those communities is we provide accountability. And so we show up there daily, we provide value, we post valuable stuff, we post recipes, content, and then we check in with our people. So when we have what we call challengers, those are people who are typically doing one of our programs at the same time as us from that library of programs, is we check in, we provide accountability, they log their workouts, we help with nutrition, we help them get started, we help them finish a program so they get results. And so, you know, we share before and afters, and not all people do share it, and that's okay. So I seriously, in the last year, I've had some amazing results. And just with Steph here, she's lost 50 pounds in the last year. And I know she downplays that a lot, but she lost 50 pounds. I had somebody else lose 83 pounds since last May, which is just phenomenal. Like the results are real, and they're not from hokey stuff or weird like weight loss pills or crazy stuff like that. Like, it's just real. It's fitness, it's nutrition, it's getting back to basics for what get you results, which is why I love this so much. And the other thing we do, so there's the supporting people who are our customers, and then we also have the ability as a coach, if you really love leading, is you can grow a team, which is another cool thing. So you can lead customers and you can lead business partners. So you can have people who come in and say, I really like what you do. I kind of want to be an influencer like you too. So we can grow a team underneath us. And so just sitting here right now, I see a few of my team members here. I see a few of Bria's, and that's an amazing thing that we can do that. So that brings us around to how the heck do we earn money as coaches? It's really, really, really simple. When you bring on somebody as a customer, you get a percentage. So typically when somebody joins you, they join with something called a challenge pack, which is something that's bundled up. It's on your website. They just click and they order it and it gets mailed to their house. You gotta love this day and age, hey? Like Amazon Prime, I want something, it's here tomorrow. Ours doesn't ship quite that fast. We can get it quickly. But that's how it happens, is they get something called a challenge pack, and that challenge pack gets shipped to their house. And what happens is you get a percentage of that. So here's an example. If the challenge pack was $200, you would get 25% of that. So you would make $50 for that. And what happens with that is they get a combination of things. So they get a Beachbody on demand access, they get a nutritional, and then if they reorder, a lot of people do, because we really keep customers for life and keep them on their journey, because this isn't a quick fix thing. You create some residual income for yourself from customers reordering. And then we have people join us every month. So part of a business is you can't just sit stagnant. You have to grow and grow and grow and grow and build your customer base. So for me, in my first month as a coach, I brought on 5 customers. I now have a community with just about 300 customers. So that gives you some perspective that it's growing, 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 growing. And so that's how that part of it grows, is with your customer base. So you have people join you and then they stay with you and they keep ordering, and you get a percentage of what they purchase. The other way we earn money is something called team cycle bonus. So this is when you build a team underneath you, and their success is your success. So when they make a sale, you get a small percentage of that. And so the bigger, more successful team you grow, the more you're getting of those small percentages, right? So again, their success is your success. So we don't make money unless our people make money as well. So it's very win-win that way, versus just bringing somebody on, hey, thanks for joining, bye. You can see we have a strong network. We all support each other, as evidenced just by this photo right on this slide. So that's essentially how we make money. Did I miss anything there, Bria? Sometimes I glaze over things quite quickly.
No, I think it's great. If anyone has questions, we will add it. You know, we get paid weekly through Beachbody, and I always like to remind people that, you know, sometimes coaches come on and people run this business and they want to just dabble and think of it as a hobby. And that's fine. You can just do that here and there for some extra money. For people like us who really want to create an income that's dependable and long-term, and that is something you can have at, you know, no matter where you're living in the world or what you're doing, a consistent income that's coming in, then it really starts with a simple, like, hour a day, 10-hour a week kind of commitment. And that's where the training comes in, where we get to really share with you, here's what you need to do, here's how you build a brand and a presence through social media. And it's up to you to just really commit to that 1 hour a day, the same way that you would with your workouts. If you want to have results, you got to commit to your time for yourself every single day. But it becomes really simple. It's just that daily action of all the things that we teach you and all the things that Michelle just kind of walked through. So I think you covered everything.
And actually, I was going to say too, with the harder you work, the more you can make, right? So as long as you're doing those key business activities that we teach you, because we have it all laid out and systems and structure in place, the more you work and the harder you work, the more you can make, which is something that really attracted me to it, is because I love being rewarded for my effort. So if you're thinking kind of hobby income, like work out with my friends, then for sure, an hour a day, you can build a significant little income for yourself. And you're not paid hourly either, because a customer you bring on today could buy something again in a year from now, which is really neat, because sometimes you wake up and you're like, oh, cool, some orders came in while I was sleeping.
I love that. And I guess that's the disclaimer as well, is that, you know, your income is relevant to the amount of effort and your skill that you put into it, your skill and commitment. So it does vary from person to person, but to give you a really good idea of my income progression, you know, and after the first 6 months, I was probably making about $1,000 to $1,600 a month. A year and a half, I was making about, twice that, about $3,000 a month. And by 3.5 years in, I was making a 6-figure income, and I've been able to maintain that and grow that over the last few years on a 25-hour-a-week commitment. But it doesn't happen without consistency, hard work, dedication, and it is different for everyone. There are certainly coaches that make a lot more money than I do, and ones that make less because they have less commitment.
And actually, I should say my income too, because just some feedback from people, it's like, tell us what you make. I think we got to be really candid about that. In my first month as a coach, I made $200. In my second month, it might have been $300. So in my first year, I was kind of making like maybe $500 to $600 a month by the end of the year. And now I'm going into my fourth year and I'm making like $800 to $1,000 a week type thing. So it's grown, and I haven't grown as quickly as Bria, but I'm starting to really see the income progression now that I'm a few years into it. I'm starting to see more consistent, starting to see the growth. So just like any business, right? The time you put in, the time you get out. But what I love about this business is there's like no risk. Like, how do you lose money doing this? There's no way to really lose money unless you do something crazy and go run an ad for 50 grand or something.
And that's a personal choice. It's not required to get successful, that's for sure, right? And I also feel like, how do you find another business that helps you stay focused on your health, that you can do from anywhere in the world? It's if you like that kind of thing, it really is quite an opportunity. Okay, sorry, I should move on. Okay, so common worries and misconceptions. I'm going to dive into this if that's okay, Michelle. I feel like usually I pass this one to you, but I think one of the most common worries and misconceptions is, do I have to sell to my family and friends? And the answer is definitely a no. I think one of my biggest things when I first started in this industry, I was very aware of different, what they call multi-level marketing. You know, there's a lot of different companies that host parties and that have a similar model to what we do. And I really just hated that feeling of what I like to call the duck and run. You know, where you meet someone and you feel like then they start calling you and they really are just calling you to come to a party. And I just did not like that feeling. It was a big part of me wanting to make sure I did not ever give other people that feeling. And so I was always really careful, and especially every time I've moved, you know, we've moved countries, we've moved towns, we've moved a lot in the last 7 years. And I never want my neighbors to feel like that I'm just going to try to sell them every time they see me and they want to do the duck and run. So the answer is no, but I will say, I think it's important that you love your journey so much that you would sell it to your friends and family. You should believe in moving your body daily and fueling it properly so deeply that you want your friends and family to be healthy, so that when they come to you, you're ready to help them, if that makes sense. What if I don't have a big following? This is something, when I started, I had no Instagram. You know, I had maybe 116 friends on Facebook. I had never even posted on Facebook. And it's really an irrelevant thing, because part of the daily task, that daily power hour of working your business, we teach you how to grow your people. And it doesn't actually matter how many people you know, it really matters the quality of the engagement. And we teach you all about that as well. I know this was a big concern for Michelle when she started. She's like, isn't it already, you know, saturated? I know all these people who do what you do. And I think one of the most beautiful parts of what we do is that we really focus on in our own businesses and on teaching new coaches how to speak their own truth, so that you find the people looking for you, the ones that you can help best and connect with. And that only happens in your consistency, and it only happens when, you know, you really are learning to speak that truth and showing up consistently. we talk about what a pyramid scheme is. I think that's a kind of an old fear. It's not really something people worry about anymore because they're very illegal. But a pyramid scheme is essentially when, a company sets up a structure so that one person makes money and the other people buy in, and that this person makes money off of that. We're really set up more like a sales management situation where, you earn commission, and then if you help people be successful, you get a bonus based on that. So it's never taking money from anyone else, which is what a pyramid scheme is. Did I get in early enough? That was sort of what I just addressed there. Beachbody as a company is constantly evolving. They're always growing. In the time that I've been here, we've opened up from the US into Canada. We've opened up from Canada into the United Kingdom. And now we're about to launch into France with plans in the next 5 years to open up further into Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. So we're constantly opening up new opportunities. And if you really learn to speak your truth, not only is there opportunity in Beachbody, but as you learn to grow your network and connect with people, it establishes a brand that you can also help people in other ways as well, which I think is pretty cool. Do I have to be at my goal weight to be successful? I think Steph kind of talked about this one earlier, which I loved. No, in fact, there's a lot of power in not being at your goal weight. What you need is confidence. What's so important is that you have confidence in saying, this is where I'm going. You should come with me because I'm going there no matter what. No matter where you are on your journey, beginning, middle, or like, at your end, not there ever is one. It's so important that you just have the confidence to say, let's go together. I'm not outgoing. This is always a funny one. We always talk about, I know I talk certainly about being an extroverted introvert. And actually someone told me recently, there's this new term called an ambivert, maybe. Anyway, where it's sort of this in between where I might be quite happy to talk outwardly for people, but I really like my own quiet time. I think regardless of whether you're an extrovert or an introvert, there's really great strengths and weaknesses, or strengths that you bring to the table in this opportunity. If you're an introvert, you have the opportunity to really connect with other introverts one-on-one and develop your team that way. If you're an extrovert, you get to, let that flag fly and get out and meet as many people as you want. There's so much opportunity with both types of personalities. And really the most important thing is that you own yours. Will I have the time? I'm busy. A couple things on this one, I would say. I built this business, when I had 2 little ones home full time, a husband that was traveling always. So I had, the hour I woke up in the morning to work out and do a few things, and I had whatever I could get for nap time. You can build this business in the cracks of your life. You just need to be consistent about it. You have to believe that that's where you're going with it. It doesn't need a lot of time. It only needs confidence, belief, and consistency. And I've seen people build it, and whether you are a stay-at-home parent, whether you have a full-time career and you're a full-time parent, it doesn't really matter what your situation is now. If you're willing to give this consistency, it's going to grow for you. Did I miss anything? Awesome. So why Team Success Fit? What do you think, Michelle? You want to take this one? And Sweaty Betty? Or you want me to go?
Sure. I'll happily take this one because Bria really understates how high performing we are as a team. So Bria has been doing this longer than me, and she has been an elite coach 4 times, which means like the top 0.05% of the company. So this woman knows how to lead a crew. So, and me, I'm a premier coach, which again, I'm in that 0.05%, which means we know how to lead people. We know how to get results. We have business skills, and we are not afraid to show you how to take the reins and go and lead you to success, because we've done it and we've helped hundreds of people on their fitness journey, and Bria probably hundreds of coaches by now, and me dozens of coaches by now, lead and start businesses. And this business is not complicated. It is a really, really simple business. And when I say that, I don't mean that it doesn't require hard work. I don't mean that it doesn't require grit. It's just what it takes to be successful is really, really simple. And we have that completely laid out. And because we're a big team and because we're a successful team, we have a lot of training, we have a lot of support, and all of that is in place. And you can see all the photos we have here. They're real. We have a really good time, and we really care very, very deeply. So did you have anything else to add on that, Bria?
No, I think there's so much power in, if you get no, but yes, let me just say no, that was really kind of you to say. And I think that if you're looking for a sisterhood, if you're looking for what they call success leaves clues, where you want help with a roadmap towards your success, meaning anytime you get stuck, you have someone to turn to say, try this, this, and this. These things worked for me. Here's exactly how I did it. Here's an actual tool that you can use. It's a really great team to partner with. Awesome. So what's next? If you've already joined a challenge group before, then actually it's free for you to sign up as a coach. A challenge pack allows you to sign up as a coach for free. Alternatively, anyone can sign up as a coach for $48 Canadian. What is that? Actually, it might be 48 across the board in US and GBP.
I think it's 39 in the US, Bria.
I should know this. I am living here. And then after our initial month of that sign up fee or your challenge pack, and I would encourage everyone to sign up with a challenge pack. It's really critical that, like I said before, that you believe in the tools that you're using, that you can share them really comfortably with your family and friends if you wanted to. You need to love them that much. So signing up with a challenge pack is really the best way to go. And that's free if you've already ordered a challenge pack in the past. After that initial month, the only required purchase is what we call your coach fees, which is $15.95 US in Great Britain pound, or $17.95 a month Canadian. So not a lot, which also covers all of your, the admin around returns. It covers all of your website. It covers your whole back office and customer service and anything you could need. And you also receive a 25% discount, which is why a lot of people decide to join just as what we call preferred member or a VIP member, because then they're automatically saving each month on whatever program and product that they're ordering, even after that monthly coach fee. There's no cancellation. You don't have to keep any inventory at your home. And really the next step is sign up, get welcomed to our team page, and get started learning and doing the actions to get you earning income right away. I know my goal is always to help, and I think Michelle would agree on this one, is always to help new coaches earn income right away in their first month, over and above that challenge pack. Let's get helping people. Let's be that captain of the team and make it exciting for other people to join so that you feel the success right away and you can keep that momentum going. So that's the next step, is get started, sign up, and dive right on into our push start group or our new coach kickoff call with whoever invited you here, and to have all your questions answered and get you going.
And I'm just going to cover the cost of challenge packs too.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
That's why we work together well, right? I missed the gaps and you fill my missed gaps. So a challenge pack in Canadian dollars is 186 Canadian, 160 US, and 160 Great Britain pounds. So that's for our basic challenge pack. So that includes your 1 year subscription to Beachbody On Demand. So that's like your 1,100 workouts. That includes a nutritional of choice. So you have some choice there over what you get. And that includes some basic materials that you get, like a shaker cup and stuff like that. So you actually get a physical package in the mail. And then as soon as you do that, you get access to like your back office and training and everything like that. So you can actually start like about 3 seconds after you get your challenge pack. So the great thing about that is no matter what happens, you have access to workouts and our community and everything for a year. So it's pretty darn good. It actually works out to like 50 cents a day if you annualize it. So it's cheaper than a gym membership, and you can earn money doing it, which is pretty cool.
Yes. I always wanted to earn money always wanted to be paid to be fit. I figured that would be the way for me to stay fit. And it's true. It works that way. Awesome.
So true.
Great. So why not you? And I always like to end the presentation with this slide because I really clearly remember 2 things happening when I was deciding to dive into this, because I was actually considering going back to school and getting furthering my education, getting a master's and diving into something else. And which is funny now because the education that I've received in the last 7 years of running an online business has been just as impactful. And I've been able to do it from wherever I wanted without it costing me a penny. I'm always blown away by that. What I know now about social media marketing, about building teams, about helping people in health and fitness is just as powerful of a skill as anything I could have learned by going back for a master's. But I remember saying to my husband, like, here are the things that I'm thinking about. And he just said to me, Bree, I don't care what you do. Just pick something, because waffling takes time and costs money. And so that was my moment where I was like, okay, I need to pick something and not just constantly sit on the fence about things. And it was reading this one specific quote that really got me. It said, nothing changes if you change nothing. And I think that was a real eye opener for me, where I was like, I could keep going in my life being, like somewhat unhappy in how I felt in my body, in my health and fitness, being somewhat unhappy, having to leave my kids, having to go here and run on someone else's schedule and have to make a salary that someone else dictated. Or I could make the decision to take my future into my own hands. And I stopped waffling and made that decision. And 7 years later, I'm really glad I did. So that's us. That's it for today. I am going to stop share and see if there are any questions. I want to invite you to stay on and ask them. I'm losing my mouse, of course, right now at this time. So if you have questions, or I don't know, Michelle, can you see in the chat box if there are questions? No questions. Does anyone have, or no, you can't see. Here we go. I've got it. Pajamas.
Okay. Can I ask a question just on something that someone private messaged me?
Sure.
He's on the call, but if someone isn't big on at-home programs, so let's say they go to the gym and they have a trainer, but they're maybe still interested, how does that work for them? And I know Stephanie touched on it with the nutrition. So she said, what if you really, for example, love the nutrition, let's say you love the Shakeology, or you're still, I think it's a bigger platform because you're in person with all these gym people every day. So let's say you're not doing Bar Blend or any of the fitness at-home programs for whatever reason, health reasons and other, that you need a certified person with you for other, let's say, complications. But can you still do it if you're still passionate about, the nutrition opportunity and wellness in general?
Absolutely. I mean, I would like, it's a no-brainer
yes.
for me. I mean, there are foundations for success, which is always move your body, like exercise. If you don't want to do these workouts, that's okay. You can do, but you still need to be consistent in a workout. Nutrition is so critical. And then, Shakeology provides such a powerful micronutrient option that you can help people with these programs and products anywhere at any time. And our lives change, right? Like whether you are pregnant or whether you go through sickness or whether you need to move or travel or change careers, at any point in time, our life changes and we might not have the ability to get to a gym, but we can also take the workouts to a gym. So there's really, I think one of the coolest parts about the coaching opportunity is that it's very customizable. You get to make it whatever you want. There's coaches that are very specific about being personal trainers. There are coaches that are very focused in on the nutrition. It's your platform and it's yours to customize.
And we have the 2 nutrition programs as well that they can make use of, as opposed to simply the BOD programs, right?
Yeah. No, that's great. I just wanted to voice it on someone else's behalf. Thank you.
So that was a great question. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I know we went over a little bit. Some of us are long-winded, sorry. But thank you, everyone. I will definitely pass on, so Rachel, you put a message in there, but it's private to me. Did you mean that? Can I say it out loud? If not, message me after. Yes, I can. Okay. If you aren't selling to friends and family to start, who are you selling to? So currently you are going to start with what we call your current network. So I guess in a way that does start with your friends and family, but it sort of depends. You can pick Facebook or Instagram. We want to start with a specific social media platform, and we're going to right away help you learn to find people in one of those platforms that aren't already in your network. So immediately we're going to start growing those people. But just by naturally sharing your journey, I think you're going to find that some of your current network friends, and I say friends, I mean acquaintances really is who a lot of the people we have on Facebook, you're going to draw them in very naturally. I think some of my first clients were actually like friends of my siblings and cousins and people once removed from me more so. But we immediately in training teach you how to do that. That's a top priority and something we do every day. I hope that helps. Awesome. All right. Well, I will post the recording and share it around, but if whoever invited you, expect that they will follow up with you today to check in and see how you're feeling about things and if you're ready to get going. Have a great day, you guys, and thanks again. Bye.